Welcome to the STX Closing tutorial. We will be going over the steps necessary to close your day within STX. During the closing procedures, we'll want to make sure and print some reports first. Under Reporting, Reports, Transactions, we first want to look at the total sheet. When printing the total sheet, it's important to remember to not check any of the checkboxes. Not checking anything will print information for everything. If you have more than one cash drawer, be sure and print it for any so that you can get a grand total for everything for the day. The total sheet gives us sales and performance information for each employee's service and retail totals. The By Payment Type section gives you a total of the payment types used for each transaction. Your cash total is a running cash total which does not include your beginning cash. It's just the cash payments received, less any change or tip paid out information. Next to the checks, we can see that there's a number 5 under the units column. 5 indicates that we should have 5 physical checks written by clients in our drawer. The physical count column allows you to write in what you have physically counted. Your MasterCard total has 2 units, so you should have 2 MasterCard receipts. The next page of the total sheet in the category on the right-hand side will show you any received on account information, which is where clients have paid for their house charge balances. It gives you the gift certificate sold amount, and it also gives you a total of your cash paid in and cash paid out transactions. If any tips were left in the drawer, you'll see that amount as well. If you have a value in that unpaid balances other than 0, that means you have some tickets that have not been completely paid. So you want to go back to your transaction list and look for any tickets that might be printed in red. Tickets listed in red are either not completely paid or not paid at all. The next report you might want to look at is the payment list. The payment list is a wonderful way to look at each of your different payments individually. You can use your total sheet to balance your day out, but if you find that you're not balancing correctly, print the payment list. The payment list lists each client, their ticket total, their payment type, and how much. It shows you tips paid out, and it also shows you your cash paid in and out transactions. With the cash paid in and outs, we can see the description as to why we either added the money or took the money away. We also get totals on this report, so we can see the overall cash total should match the cash total on the total sheet, your other payment type totals, and then it shows you your cash paid ins, cash paid outs, the cash payments, less the cash tip. It would also reflect any change that had been given back. If you still can't get balanced from the payment list, the transaction detail report would probably help. Don't check anything or change any pop-up menus to get details on every transaction. The transaction detail report actually provides a brief synopsis of each transaction that was entered. You can see the client's name, their visit type, the services they received, how much they paid, how they paid, any tips that were dispersed. Once you feel you're in balance on the transaction list, go to the cash counting sheet. All the transactions that have been entered for the day dealing with cash would be reflected in the cash counting. The transaction subtotal says we should have $442 in our drawer. In the cash and drawer worksheet, simply fill in the number of each denomination that you have. Notice on the left, the cash in drawer total will start increasing as we're adding information. The cash short amount starts to decrease as well. Once we've got enough in our cash in drawer to balance out the cash counting sheet, the cash short and the cash over will both say 0. At this point, we are ready to click the Close Drawer button. The Close Drawer button will not light up if you're not in balance. If you're short or over, the Close Drawer button is grayed out. If you're short or over, and you've looked and looked and looked through your various reports and you cannot find any reason why you're short or over, just close and save. So we're short, we do a cash paid out. Because you physically have less than what STX thinks, you have to take that money out of STX to balance, and it will go to cash shortage. Save it and close it. Now when we go back to cash counting, we're completely in balance. Let's say that we're over. Just close and save. Where we have the cash over situation, we're going to do a cash paid in. And we'll put $1 in, cash overage, and the account will be cash overage. Now when we go back to cash counting, we can see that we're in balance again. Again, once you're in balance, you simply click Close Drawer. Now what we have ended with today will be reflected on tomorrow's cash counting sheet in the prior closing cash. So we closed with $442 today. Tomorrow morning when we open this, the prior closing cash will say $442, as will the beginning cash. STX assumes what you've closed with is what you're opening with. However, you can always change that beginning cash amount. If you have more than one computer with a cash drawer configured, anytime you go to that cash counting sheet, you'll be able to see each of the additional drawers. To close out each of those additional drawers, you must go to the computer where those drawers are configured. So if we're sitting at the left front desk drawer, you're not going to enter the beginning cash on that cash counting if you put all your physical money into one drawer. Throughout the day, your cash tendered amount will be reflective of the cash transactions that were done on that left front computer. At the end of the day, to balance it out, you need to take the money from the left front drawer and give it to the right front drawer, if the right front drawer is your primary one. So on the left front computer, you will perform a cash paid out transaction. I've already created one of those. So in the cash paid out on the left front drawer, you will put in the amount that the cash counting sheet says you have for the cash tendered. Paid to would be that you're paying it to the primary or right front drawer. In the account, we created an account called Drawer Balance. Now that you've taken that money out of the left front drawer, you have to give that money to the right front drawer. So on the right front computer, you would do a cash paid in. I've already done one of these for us. So the cash paid in is the exact same amount that we did the cash paid out on the left front drawer computer. We received this money from the left front drawer, and again the account is Drawer Balance. Now you've taken the money out of the left front and given it to the right front. So now you can combine all that physical money together and count it. Another report that you might want to print at the end of the night would be the employee tip report. The employees who have tips will automatically be checked for you. Each employee will get their own report, and you'll be able to give them a tip total of what was either left in the drawer or paid out. If you leave all your money in the drawer during the day, but you set the tips to being paid out, STX knows that money is already gone by setting the tip pop-up to paid out. But you physically leave your money in the drawer until the end of the day. Because STX automatically knows that money is gone, you need to print your employee tip report to determine how much in tips you need to remove before going to the cash counting to balance out your cash. If you leave your tips as left in drawer, then STX believes that money is still there. Now that we've closed our day, it's safe to close up all our windows. And we want to make sure that we quit STX on each computer. You want to be sure and leave your server turned on and running and connected to the internet, but you can quit STX. You can actually shut down all your workstations if you need to. But you want to make sure that the server computer is still turned on, even though you're not in STX. If you're not subscribing to online services, You will need to take your own backups on a daily basis. So before quitting STX, go under the STX menu to Backups, click Backup Now, and then highlight that new backup, click Save To, and then you can navigate your way to a flash drive or a memory stick that you might have connected to your computer to save that backup to that device. If you are subscribing to online services, it is not necessary to take your own backups, so you'll just quit STX when you're through balancing out your day. This concludes the STX closing tutorial. If you require further assistance, please contact STX